Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now a first carry here for Robinson. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson: 19 carries, 76 yards.
He's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
7 yards there and a first down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you'll get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were excellent a week ago with a victory over Arizona.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go
touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Brian Robinson finished things off with a touchdown grab. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. On 1st and 10, Simpson. And incomplete on the deep ball. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, when you get a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Fourth down and on his Ty Long to punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Gibson here running out of the gun. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Third and 2, Smith. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. On the right side open is Gesicki. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Smith's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2nd down and 3. Again, Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll run with Robinson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. 2nd down and goal. Smith, a quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. Back to throw, Smith. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Darnay Holmes now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Burke finding space at the 40 and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On 1st down, Simpson. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 49 yards. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Burke. And this time he is in. A great effort there. With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants have cut it back within a score. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Touchdown here to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
From the 31, Smith. Pass incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Smith throwing again. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Smith. Complete, it's Dotson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now a 1st down throw, it's Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Gino. Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Throwing again is Smith. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Taking in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here. And
there he goes, left side. Touchdown, Giants.
Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Gano the extra point. And it leads down to a field goal, 17-14. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Here we go.
Now Gino on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 33 as we ironically approach 3:33 remaining in the quarter. On first down, it's Smith. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Gino now to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right.
Touchdown! Mike Gesicki from 17 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all concluded with a touchdown pass to the tight end, Mike Gesicki. Holmes returning from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Giants ready to come out now. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Right back to him on first down. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Burke, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Giants are back within a score. Extra point try, good by Gano. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he'll just get rid of it. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Smith's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he goes out right around the 39. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To the air again, Smith. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Off the play fake. Simpson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On first down, it's Burke. Room here to run. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Burke, and he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Burke, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Burke, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Giants go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Gano for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Smith. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The Smith throw complete to Dotson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Smith trying to get him to the line quickly with the clock rolling. The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 20-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now Smith. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, this defense, Charles, we know how good they are, but they've been beat a couple of times in this game. However, they got the latest laugh.
And how about the way they hung in there? Because you're exactly right. They're not used to being dented as they've been so far in this game. But what they just did there with that pick 6, that's the equivalent of what was happening to them. They're throwing touchdown passes against them. Okay, we'll take one back against you.
Gano now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now Washington down on the scoreboard. 27 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Smith. Finding Samuel, and they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. To throw again on second down, Smith. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Smith. This one is incomplete. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time is run out on this ball game.